To everybody out there trying, we see you.
We ain't starving.
God sees you. Oh, no, no, no. Keep trying.
What's going on, y'all? We're at the Pull-Up Experience today. Episode 256, y'all, and we got a great one for y'all. Actually, this is like I said, this 3 years in the making, but I'm glad we got here because this is somebody who I admire, who's doing this thing, and it's just that Cleveland is a great place for creatives, entrepreneurs, influencers, and it's like having someone who encompasses all three is just a phenomenal thing, man.
I appreciate that, man. Likewise, man. We gotta explain the 3 years in the making, man.
We do. And you know what's funny? We'll talk about it because whatnot. Because I just want to tell everybody, if someone don't get back with you, don't get offended by it. And I say that because I tell anybody, you just haven't worked hard enough yet. You haven't worked hard enough so they can see you for where you are. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay. And people get offended by that. I get it. I get it 100%.
It's that, and sometimes it's just divine timing.
Absolutely.
Like, for whatever reason. So, just to let the listeners know. So of course we plan this date today. You know what I mean? We meet through a mutual friend.
Yeah, shout out to
Amira.
Shout out to Amira, the ultimate networker.
Ultimate networker from Jersey. She makes sure you know.
Right.
From Jersey. Noir, the main spot. But she plugged us together.
Absolutely.
And I'll be rocking with her on the 27th for the next listening party. But
and we gotta talk about that too. Like your way.
it's
gonna be a good one, y'all.
It's gonna be a good one. But the 3 years in the making is not till this time where we was planning and communicating for this. I opened my DM because you made me a collaborator for the promotion, and I see this big paragraph with a flyer above it. It's like, hey, it was very humble and respectful.
Yeah.
And it was like, hey, we kind of been noticing you, and we think you would be a great addition to this event we got coming up.
Sir.
And I'm like, oh, bet. Like, he sent me this too. I look, it said June 2021. I was like, oh man. I like, he probably think I'm an a-hole, man.
No, you
and
were
I was
good,
like,
brother.
man, I texted you right away, like, hey man, I'm just not seeing this.
You were good, man.
But it was in the graveyard, the DM graveyard.
Exactly.
So we just started following each other, man. And then you rewind a little bit for that. You know, I didn't know you, but I'm watching you win this award. And I'm rooting for you, like, shout out.
I appreciate that.
And then I'm like, everybody cheering for you, like, let's go, man. I'm like, damn, I never met dude. Like, I'm gonna meet him one day, and then here we are, man.
Here we are, man.
3 years in the making.
Come on, man. No, that's good stuff, man. I appreciate that, bro. Really, I do.
Yeah.
And like I said, and this is one thing I love about our city, though. Like, it's so many phenomenal people. Like, everyone think you have the 256, brother. You would think we'd be slowing down, brother. We are ramping back up.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And that's goes to show you that Cleveland is just a hub for, you know what I'm saying, for great people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, bro, I know we went on the tangent, but y'all, I want to start from the beginning, right?
Okay.
Like we said off camera, talk about everyone knows who you are right now. They don't know what it took to get to where you are, right?
Yeah.
And we all know all great journeys start at the beginning. So Cleveland, born and raised.
Born and raised.
If you had to say the side of the city that you had to represent, what side would you call home?
I gotta represent. Dang, that's tough.
I know, right?
That's tough. Cause you don't want to leave.
Yeah.
So because my parents divorced, I had the opportunity to split neighborhood.
Okay.
So primarily, I went to school and I grew up in the Heights.
Okay.
Cleveland Heights.
Right?
It's only one Heights you can say, the Heights. Cleveland Heights. But I also grew up on a street called Medina, right around Superior.
Okay.
With all my people, man. Shout out to the White family, Junior, Ping, all of them, man. My dad lived over there. So I split my time.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Weekends was down the way. Everyday living was Cleveland Heights.
That's what's up, bro. And then, like, everybody down the way, you have been Cleveland understanding the up the way, down the way, or whatnot.
Yeah. For sure.
So this is what I assume, and this is correct me if I'm wrong. Growing up, were you at every talent show? Were you like the guy like, hey, we need somebody to sing something for us? We need to grab Dave.
That's crazy. You know it's crazy. Now I always loved music.
Yeah.
But I was never the talent show.
No.
I never wanted to be out in public singing. Like so. I grew up in church.
Okay.
And I had to be in every choir. My mom had me in every choir: children's choir, adults choir, men's choir.
Yeah.
And because of that, early on, it kind of I don't want to say took my childhood away, but I was leaving a lot of intense hide and seek games. Be like, hey, it's time to go to Bible study. Hey, it's time to go to choir rehearsal. Hey, it's time to go to whatever. It was always something.
It was always something at church. I got you.
Yeah, man.
I've gone to plenty of fish fry for church and fundraisers in my day.
Fish fry, vacation, Bible school. So, I mean, one big piece that I'm leaving out, I was a preacher's kid.
Oh, okay.
And then she married a pastor as well. So I was doubled up. So I was first to leave. I mean, I was first to arrive and last to leave because everybody wanted to talk to the pastor at the end of the service. So that was that kind of, I ran away from singing and ran the sports, basketball. That's what everybody initially knew me for. So as many choirs as I was a part of, I never had a solo, never wanted a solo. So most times I lip sang, and I finally got out. I cried to get out, man, and they let me out. And so I didn't grow up wanting to be a singer, but I always loved music.
Come on now, let me put that one time. And like, and I love that. I love that story because, like I said, you hear most stories. Like I was telling a show. I was on Star Search. I was on all these other things and whatnot. You said you took the other route or whatnot.
Yep. Basketball was my first love.
What position you play?
Point guard.
Point guard. Okay. All right. So y'all, hey, don't challenge Dave to get on basketball.
I quit. After COVID, I quit. I'm scared to death to play. I do not want to get hurt, man.
I understand. Yeah, listen. So let me ask you this. So with that being said, when did you embrace your talent? When did you say, okay, now I'm going to embrace what God has given me? And what?
Yeah. You know what's crazy? So like I said, I always loved music, but one thing I tell people is you can't escape destiny.
Ooh,
so
hot episode.
yeah. So I'm playing in college. I graduate. Of course, most college basketball players, next thing is the pursuit of professionalism. So if you wasn't going to the NBA, the next best thing was going overseas and things like that. So I'm home. I'm working on trying to get overseas. And it's a hustle, just like the music game. Yeah. You got people that prey on people's hopes and dreams. So it was a lot of tryouts and stuff for $400, $500 to say, hey, you can come here and for opportunity to go overseas. And I was just like, man, I ain't nobody's sucker. I'm not giving you $500 and you don't even care how I play. Right. You know? So I didn't buy in. So one of the hardest things for most ex-athletes to do is pivot into real life. Like most times sports is like, this is who I am. Right. So that transition is where a lot of guys and girls, fall by the wayside. I had no problem transitioning. I transitioned, but I kept working out. But eventually a friend of mine started rapping, and he asked me to help him write hooks. And there was guys playing all along. Like, let me pull you on back into what you really love, what you just ran away from. But I let you run away from it in actuality, and I'll explain that later. Yeah. But I started off writing hooks for him in secret. And writing hooks turned into singing hooks, turned into writing songs, turned into making songs. And I did that in private for from 2005 all the way to 2017. So 2017 was my date with Destiny. Come on. I'll tell you about that later.
Okay, no. I want to talk about songwriting because one thing to be able to sing, another to write songs. Yeah. And I think that a lot of people don't understand because, like, I know me, I'm R&B head, by the way. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it. Listen. I love a good love song, and like not even just a good love song. I love a good love song I can relate to.
Likewise.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a great point. So go ahead. Remind me to.
Yeah, we'll get back to that. Yeah. But I appreciate the good songwriter. And I'll talk about a song. I know we can't talk about he who will not be named or whatnot, but you got to give him the fact that he wrote good songs.
Oh yeah, I know you're talking about.
Right. You can't say his name. Yeah. And that's because he came from a relatable place. We talk about love, and I'm talking about every aspect from breakup
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Making up.
Yeah.
First love, all that good stuff. And the question I have for you is when it comes to songwriting, what do you feel like is essential you need if you want to create a great song, want to write a great song?
You nailed it, man. It's relatability. The music that I grew up on, like you said, you had a song for pretty much every situation you was going through. You could literally press play and you felt like that song, the lyrics were dedicated to you. You know what I mean? Kind of like when somebody be in church, like pastor was talking to me, right? So it's like those songs were vital to our survival. No different than the slaves, and they had those songs that kept them going. Spirit. Ooh. And it's like that kind of carried on throughout the early period, like the Renaissance. You had this beautiful music that would tap into your soul and would stir emotion, tears, joy, whatever it may be. So for me, when I write, that's my number one goal, is to write something that people be like, man, I know exactly what you're saying. Like, and then it becomes a staple in that emotion. So whenever you feel that emotion, it's like boom. Like, I remember, I mean, I love music, but this one particular song, I got two older sisters, but for women, when Wait and Exhale came out, that Mary J. Blige song,
oh my goodness, bro,
crazy. Not Gonna Cry, like even being a man, like you, like, man, this is crazy, right? And that song still resonates to this day, man. And those are the type of songs where you call them timeless.
Timeless, come on, man.
As long as the human body is here, the human spirit, human soul, those emotions, those thoughts, those feelings, those experiences duplicate themselves, and you always gonna have that soundtrack to that emotion, man.
And I love how.
Yeah,
come on over.
When you hear a song, it brings the emotion too.
Yeah.
Like when you go back to that song and hear it cut, it's like I can remember where I was.
Exactly.
When this was my summer hit. This was my,
You talked to the number one music connoisseur of all time right there.
So I saw her, but I wasn't sure if I should acknowledge like this. I was like, she not supposed to be there, maybe. I don't know if I should acknowledge her. Okay, all right, cool. That you're right. That's it exactly, man. It's like, as an artist, that's how you crystallize yourself into, or you leave your fingerprint on this world, man. You got a song, like you said, that just the moment you hear it, it's like, dang, like it takes you somewhere. And when I write, that's what I try to do. I got some songs. I don't know if you heard the album yet, but after I finish it, when I write, I'm like, I want to make somebody cry. I want somebody to cry because they can feel the words coming off the vinyl, off the phone, off the DVD, whatever. You know what I mean? It's an intentional writing. That's how I write.
That's good.
I have one question real quick, and I know I'm in a cut. But my question is, as a singer, I know when you realize that you have the talent to sing, you realize you have the voice, the tone, the control. When you have all of that, you usually sing by mimicking someone else. So when do you remember that you had a different and unique sound? Because you have your own original and different sound. Like you can mimic all day, but you have to come away from that when it comes to becoming an artist, an actual artist, and making your own song. So when do you remember when you realized, like, I can do more than just mimic? I got something here.
Yep, I remember specifically, and that taps back into what you was talking about, the journey. So there's like these little checkpoints along the way where it's like the movies, right? You have this tempo change, or this climax, or this key moment that ends up helping you in the future, right? So starting late in the game, because I didn't go public with my music till 2017. So from 2005 to 2017, it was a secret. My mom, nobody knew.
Wow.
So with that, you got a secret. You can always be good in your head, but you don't know how good you are until people hear you. So with that comes a little bit of a lack of confidence, and So the easiest thing to do is like you listen to music, especially if you love music, you'll find yourself mimicking other artists and trying to imitate their sound. And then we have great singers because you love their music, like a Jasmine Sullivan or something that does all those vocal tricks.
Oh yeah.
You be like, man, I can't sing. Like, I'm gonna just chill, you know. And then I remember two distinct conversations. One was with my homeboy Kev Blaze. He actually performed at Pink and Black Honors at the end.
Okay.
And another young lady, my homegirl Nikisha. And what they told me is that nobody can be you better than you. So your voice is your voice, and that's one thing that nobody will never be able to outdo you.
That's facts.
And when I listened and I heard that, I was like, that's it, man. And then my dude Kev, who's very musical, he was like, he played a song for me. It's a gospel song, and the guy that made it, he's not a guy that does a bunch of runs or he just shoot it straight like But then you got one of those people, I call them chin music. One of those people that I call it chin music. Yeah, chin music. You got one of those singers, and they singing the same song, but they doing all the vocal acrobatics. Yeah. And it's like, now this person's didn't even make the song. The person that made it singing it like this, and it blew up. And then you got all these talented singers singing it just to sing it, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, that's why it goes to show you, it's like, there's space for everybody's talent.
Come on now.
So don't look at that person or that person or that person and look at yourself as inferior. You're unique.
Yeah.
You're special. And as time went on, I realized that being unique was the key to breaking through the ceiling anyway, because the way the game has changed now musically, everybody's cool with biting somebody else's style or patterning themselves after each other. And in the older days, the better days, I would say, everybody was unique. So if you wanted a Stevie Wonder record, you was only gonna get that sound from Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
Marvin Gaye, you was only gonna get that sound from Marvin Gaye. Prince, you was only get, like, people didn't hear Prince go ooh, and then everybody's like, oh, ooh, that's what's going 7 platinum. All right, I need a record where we going ooh, like, you know, it's now that I feel like the executives have taken over artistry because it's all about the money.
Yeah.
Bag attached to it. And it's like, listen, man, we don't care about the art. We trying to make a profit. Yeah, so this dude did auto-tune, T-Pain, you got to do an auto-tune song. This dude did a whisper song, the Yin Yang Twins. We need a whisper song. Right. That's what the people want. And, you know, and so now everything, like you say, it's not a lot of originality, and that's why I think a lot of artists don't have the longevity that some of those artists had back then. Because if you take a week off making that type of record, this dude over here about to make the same record than that dude over there. So we don't gotta wait on you.
Yeah.
We don't gotta cherish you because I can get that same product you putting out over here. It's like if Walgreens closed, I'll go to CVS.
So true.
And that's where I really settled into that uniqueness. And like you said, your voice is distinct, and that's one thing that, you know, people can imitate, but you can't duplicate. And that's what eventually over time made me stand out.
That's good. And like you talk to a singer right there, you know, that's why she's able to talk to
she's giving me the good. Let's check him out. Let's check his DNA. But yeah, I appreciate it. I like those good. That's why I say I like questions impromptu, because you get an authentic answer. You can't BS.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know what you're gonna ask me. I can be like, all right. Well, I like that. You catch me in real time process.
Yeah, and you know what? That's how you gauge who really does it for real. You know what I'm saying? Because if you do it for real, I can ask you anything. I already know the answer to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But people who ain't ready for it, like, I need all the questions right now. Give me all of them right now, so I can prepare. No, that's good stuff. So let me ask you this: and with your songwriting, what you say is you write from a lot of your songwriting comes from experience, something you experienced yourself, or from a different standpoint, different viewpoint, also.
Both, right? So let's take music out of it. Say I'm a painter. Mm-hmm. So some things I paint are something I may just feel internally, right? Mm. But I also draw inspiration from just these eyes. These eyes you see and you look at stuff and you be like, yeah. Same with writing. So for me, it could be something that I really went through, or it could be something that imagination kicks in and boom, boom, boom. Yeah. I got a song called Karma, which is about a guy who's out, not answering his phone because he's with his other girl. His girl's calling. He called her back finally. She's not answering. So he like, I ain't did. He get home. Well, she got another man in the house. And he go up the stairs and it's a big confrontation with a gun and everything. And then it ends. He like, damn, karma. Like, I'm out doing me. My girl at the crib doing her thing, karma. People like, man, you went through that. I'm like, absolutely not. Like, I don't live that type of wild life, you know. But that was all imagination, and based on what goes on in the world. I'm very observant, so I can draw inspiration from most things. Yeah, you know, be it good or bad.
I got you. And then like I always wondered, like, because I like you said, I feel like back in the day, everyone wrote their own music, right? Even if they didn't, you know what I'm saying? They had great songwriters. In today's music industry, do you feel like it's an advantage to being a songwriter, or it doesn't even matter anymore?
I think it does, because I think most people that really know the business, they know that songwriters make all the money. We get it confused and see the person in the camera and be like, man, hey, and then they came out with them shows Unsung.
Oh yeah,
you hear all them stories.
Yeah.
Damn, TLC, bro.
No.
Like, damn, Tony Braxton, bro. You know what I mean? So, Babyface. We ain't never heard no Unsung on Babyface.
No, that's fact.
You know what I'm saying? So, Neo.
Man, listen.
Yeah, people don't know how BMI and ASCAP and all
that.
The
Dream, you know what I mean?
My favorite.
Yeah, you hear the reference track for what's that? Beyonce's 1+1.
Yeah.
You hear him singing it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And you hear her, like, everybody love that song. And he made that.
He made that, right?
He made most of her songs.
Yeah.
He does a lot of production on her songs.
Yeah, it's crazy.
She is that's her pocket guy.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yep. So writing is definitely the move, you know.
Would you? Oh, sorry.
No, you get. Yeah, you get.
So I know, like you're talking about right now, like a lot of people wrote back then and play instruments, but you do have some superstars that don't write their own music. Yeah. That they put them out here and they have the right teams to give them the right music. Yeah. But back in the day, you could try to be wherever you needed to be in the place to be and give someone your demo. And can you listen to this? Can you listen to this? But from my understanding, it's a whole new situation. Like they want the complete package. They want you to learn how to write, play some type of instrument. Just they want you to come to them complete, so they don't have to work with you so much. Is that true, or do you think people can still get through singing and without instrument, with their voice and just their talent?
Yeah. I think so. Comparing the times, the key word that you used, I think, and this is all, of course, opinion, but superstar. So back then, a superstar versus today, I think is a lot different.
Oh yeah.
Because the music industry, I mean, like people are really making a great deal of money where they setting themselves up, you know, and I can see how a person that's modeling, running like a Rihanna, running a clothing line, modeling, doing this, a brand ambassador, like going on tour here, going here, an interview here, a press run here, like how do you have time to sit and write an album? So it's like they don't have the time, so you have to bring in the people. Like, well, listen, you got the people, we got a bunch of writers. We'll bring the writers in, and you just keep nourishing the brand. You know? So back then, you know, it was big, but I mean, you had other genres of music that were still more popular. You know what I mean? So I think even with the fame that people had, I'm not sure if it was on this level. So I think people still had an opportunity to write. But I also just think the game was the game then. I think people actually took pride in writing. Like you had to be able to write. But I mean, you still have people like Smokey Robinson that was writing for the whole label.
Oh, yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
he was writing for the whole label. So you had it existed. I just think now that a lot of these artists are superstars, they don't have time to write. And the ones that do, they have the authority to say, I'm not dropping an album every year. Like, you're going to wait.
Yeah.
I'll come out in 2 years. But the young people that are impressionable, that are like, got that machine behind them, they're like, we need music. We need music. And I don't think it's even realistic that a person could keep up. Now, on the other thing, when you were saying where people want ready-made products, I think at this point, people are getting through the crevice just off the fact that they got numbers behind them.
Okay.
Talent is like, you don't have to be.
No, for real.
You can have talent or not, but this guy got 1 million people listening to him and chasing him. We can put writers in there and and then you get
buying the brand, ain't buying the
yeah. I mean, switching from music, cause I don't want to. I may work with somebody, so I just switch it to boxing. But you look at how much of a guarded entity boxing was, right? I mean, you talking mafia, you talking everything, Vegas, and then you got this cat Jake Paul that comes out of nowhere, and infiltrates the whole system. Why? Because he had millions of people on YouTube and stuff, and he was able to penetrate the market and do it, and that's what, unfortunately, it's a good and a bad. That's the music did the same thing. So they like, man, how good are you? We don't care. You got 1 million people. We ain't gonna sign you to a whole thing. We'll just sign you to a single. And if you can make another one, we'll keep going with it. But if you can't make nothing but that one, we just gonna benefit from you off that one and let it be what it is. So it's working both ways.
Yeah.
Some would say that's kind of watering down the game as it is because it's not talent. People don't know how to actually play instruments. People don't know how to do much of anything. They just got the look.
Right, they had to look down.
The look and the 1 million people listening to them for whatever reason.
I think we all seen it firsthand with Versus, and I ain't gonna talk about which one, but y'all know what I'm talking about in particular because we was like, I thought you could sing.
Oh yeah, that was tough.
But it was tough, right?
That was tough.
Yeah. But it's gonna show you. People buying the brand. You know what I'm saying? They were buying.
And you know what? That one guy, when he was like, "Don't do it, don't do it," don't do it. That guy's musical career has been better than the guy that was blowing everybody out. Like he's been like on all the features, all the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the guy that can sing his ass off, like he's like somewhat of the underdog. Like, the era's passed him by. Like,
and that's crazy though.
It's crazy, right? And one other thing I want to say to that about writing, and this is part of me when I was coming up early and I was watching, studying, like all these people with this talent here, like why aren't they like? Why is nobody like boom, like taking off and you know? And it's that writing thing. Sometimes if you can't write your own music, you got a voice, but 1 million people do. So, you know, if nobody wants to put a writer behind you or you don't have the money to pay a writer, then you pretty much left like you singing covers. Yeah. You know, and covers, to me, covers is like the short game. Like I can feed myself today, I can pay my bills today, but career-wise, if you really want to be a musical star or a musical career, I just don't know if that's the long-term playbook. And that was me. I was like, I'd rather strike out trying to hit a home run and keep bunting
Yes. I tried it. I called him like,
Yeah, she did.
I
Yeah,
did like,
I'm stern on that. I'm stern.
I was like, can you do a couple covers for me?
You're like, you don't know nobody else's music? I'm like, I know it, but I watched.
And I respect that.
Yeah, I watched, I was kind of disappointed, not in them, but just like promoters, bars. I remember when early on, a guy, he was like, you want to do here, you're going to need a band, you got to sing covers. I was like, well, what about his original music? You can sneak one of yours in. And I was like, oh, no, that don't work for me. And it's like, it's almost like a relationship. Yeah, you got to kind of teach people how to love you. And it's like, I'm going to stand firm on you going to get my music. I'm going to take more pride in performing and y'all go like, man, that was dope. And be like, you wrote that? Yeah. I'm like, yeah. Versus, damn, that was good, man. And then you like go in the car and start streaming the artist that I was just singing, who's already made it. That's crazy. And here I am stuck in Cleveland, like my music ain't gonna never get off the shelf.
Yeah. But speaking of which, and I'm glad you said that because when I first heard you, that's what caught my attention. And I feel like when you are new to the game, or even if you have a following, if you sing in front of an audience and they haven't heard your music and they can still vibe, that is so dope to me. And I was like, who is this guy? I like that. It's another one. Oh, everything he sang sounded good to me.
I appreciate that.
Yes, I felt, I mean, that's a big deal to me because it has to. That's how you know it can get to the masses and be good. Because if you hear it and you just kind of still standing there, and you like, all right, that's cool. That's cool. He has a nice voice. But if you hear it and you like, okay, I'm feeling it. That's hot. I like that. Where can I get that? Like, that's a whole nother situation.
That's what I call the difference between real gold and fool's gold. You know what I mean? Like, it's that feeling right there, and let's keep it 1,000. Painting that scenario, but painting it in this city here.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
Like, where you could be on stage killing it, and a dude, somebody be looking at you like this, like, to where you gotta look away, like, sing this one. And then you get off stage, they be like, hey, by the way, you killed it. like, dude, you didn't even move. Like, you didn't even move. So, that's to highlight what you said, to get a Cleveland crowd to be like, and do crowd participation, like it's like what we were talking about earlier, cracking that code. Like, how do you get Cleveland to get behind you when everybody else said, man, bump Cleveland don't support.
We hear it so often though, bro.
Yeah, and it's like I literally set out to crack that code, and that's what.
Steve, I love you.
That's what I've been doing.
See what I put it on the title of the episode.
So that's what I've been trying to do, man.
So let me ask you this then. Let's talk about the first few days. Let's talk about the first performance. Because everybody they see you now, but let's talk about that first performance. How, because you like you said, from 2005 to 2017 was in the background, right? Yeah. But it's a difference when that first performance is you. Yeah. Let's talk about that real quick.
All right, so I got two scenarios. So from 2005 to 2017, I was sneaking and performing. So I was writing hooks for rappers and singing them. So I was cool hiding, writing them, and then record it and go back in my corner until these cats like, hey, I got a show. Would you be interested in performing? No, absolutely not. People know me as Dave from hooping, not singing. Like, what do I look like going out there? And then it was like, God was like, what you gonna do?
Yeah.
You know? And I was like, wow. So they kept at it, and they was like, so I finally compromised. I'll do any show on the West Side, but we definitely not doing East. So you know, West Side don't cross the bridge, and East Side don't cross the bridge. It's two different textures.
It's two different cities.
Two different textures, two different dress codes, two different slangs.
Yeah.
So I was like, I can live with the West Side. I'll get my bumps and bruises on the West Side.
Yeah.
So I did a show on the West Side. It was cool. Then we had another one. I'm like, I could do this West Side. And I got up there to sing, and lo and behold, somebody from the East Side was in the crowd.
You can tell? Oh, it's somebody you knew?
It was somebody I knew.
Okay.
And it was my homegirl that I went to school with ever since the 6th grade, Mia Settles. And we met eyes. So she looking up at me like this. I'm looking down at her like this. I'm like, oh, what's that little monkey meme? Where he's like, oh no. I'm like, oh no. And the rapper like, oh, you ready? And I was like, damn. So the basketball kicks in. It's like, well, I can't never show fear. So I gotta bottle all this fear up. Butterflies in my stomach. And I just closed my eyes like, yeah, and start singing. And after the show, she's like, oh my God, I didn't know you did. I like grabbed her by the arm, like, listen, you didn't see nothing. Like, don't tell nobody you saw me. You didn't see nothing. And lo and behold, my sister, a few weeks later, she's savvy enough to wait. She's like, so I heard you out here singing hooks. So
she waited too.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna kill Mia, man. So that was the first time.
Yeah.
But the date with Destiny I was talking about, my moment, like my christening moment was 2017. I was in my homeboy's wedding in Dubai. I was a groomsman. Still working a 9 to 5. Ain't really got money. Like most of my money went to getting over there. So my wedding gift to him was a song I wrote based on the timeline of when he met his wife.
Wow. Up
until that point. It was called Meant for Me. And I had this secret plan. Now, he didn't know me for music. He just knew me for basketball.
Right.
So we met in 2002.
Yeah.
And here this is 2017. So that's 15 years later. And, out of nerves, I was just going to sneak the song to the DJ at the reception. Like, hey, man, just spin this. And I was going to covertly watch, like, see how they vibe. And, the spirit just wouldn't let me roll with that. It was like, no. It tricked me. I used reverse psychology. It was like, no, you're going to mess up the wedding because everybody's going to hate the song. Then the bride's going to be like, who played that? And the DJ's going to be like, he asked me to.
Yeah.
And then my boys going to look at me like, dude, why would you do it? So that made me ask him for his blessing.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I got a gift, man. I wrote a song. So, back in that era, the demographic for a young black dude was you rap. So he's like, you rap? So I'm like, nah, man. He's like, you sing?
Yeah.
That's that hoop. Like, it's a hooper. You sing? So I'm like, yeah. So it was like, oh, man. So he eventually ended up listening with headphones on. And he came out. He's like, you messed up. I was like, I know. That's why I wanted to ask first. Yeah, it's a bad song. He's like, shut up, man. He's like, no, listen. I know music. That song is amazing. I was at the wedding listening to it. There's no way you press play on that. You got to perform that. And I'm like, oh, no. Same like I did with my boys on the West Side. Like, oh, no. And I'm over there, so I can't compromise.
Yeah.
Ain't no West Side, East Side. So I fought it. And God was like, this is it. And he finally interrupted me like, listen to me.
Yeah.
You are going to miss your moment if you don't perform this song. It was like, thunder, cloud spread, a wolf howl.
all the things in the movie.
Yeah. And an echo, like, you're going to miss your moment if you don't perform it. And I was like, all right. And that moment, the only way I could perform is if I could think of a cool way to do it. So I wrote up this plan of how I was going to come out and I ended up performing, and the crowd went crazy because I disappeared as a groomman. I went around the building and came all the way back around with a mic in my hand, and the crowd just started rocking. and sung to his wife,
and
it was like something from a TV show, and that was the launch. Like,
yeah.
It was like I couldn't shrink and go back in
right,
the bottle
right.
that.
Ooh, that's
so,
good.
So I got on the plane and I was like,
ain't no going back.
I guess this is it. I ain't crazy. I think you had a post, I think, man, a story, and it was like, you're not crazy. They just don't get it yet.
Oh, yeah.
And that was one of my favorite lines. Like, I always say, like, creators, you're crazy until somebody gets it.
Come on now.
So from 2005 to 2017, that's 12 years of writing in private and keeping it a secret. And somebody might say, like, you know, if I had a big brother, like, what are you doing? Like, why are you writing? You're not doing nothing. You're not performing. What are you just writing? And it's like, I just was in the science lab cooking up stuff.
Yeah.
And then when that day came, I was ready. I didn't even know I was ready, but I was ready.
He was ready.
And from there, and I didn't have a social media. I didn't have a stage name. I wasn't an artist. I was just a secret. And it was like, God was like, now. And how dope was it that my introduction as an artist, right out the gate, I'm international.
Come on now.
So it's like, God, man, he's the ultimate chess player.
Man, facts. Don't get me started on that. We'll be here all day.
Oh, man, yeah. So that was the first time, man.
Yeah.
I got it on camera. The wedding photographers and videographers became video shooters. So we turned the wedding footage into a music video. So everything, like, it was like the perfect
moment.
Like I couldn't have drew it up any
better.
So he married an Ethiopian woman. Dubai is very diverse. So you got Emiratis, you got Ethiopians, you got African Americans, you got Africans, you got Filipino. So all those people experienced those moments and instantly experienced that moment and instantly became a fan and instantly international.
That's
Filipino support, Ethiopian support, Emirati support. Like it's crazy. And in Cleveland, we try and figure out how do we break out the local talent cesspool. And that was my introduction. Like, crazy.
So, okay. And I because now I want to talk about the business part because this is the part that because one thing be talented, but you gotta have, I feel like I gotta be business savvy, right?
Yep.
So let's talk about how, as an artist, I'm just starting out and I want to be able to launch. I got a single and I want to be able to launch that single. And I like to call it guerrilla warfare, you know what I'm saying? Because like everyone talks about you have a large rollout when you're doing certain things. But you doing something different. I want to get to that too. Because I think you're doing fantastic. But I'm talking about in the mindset of I'm just started as an artist and I want to get my single out.
So first and foremost, you have a few ways. Some people. So you said starving. So we want to take that literal.
Yeah.
Right, I don't say you get your website and people can download from there and you can get all your money yourself.
Yeah.
But,
do the Nipsey Hussle route.
Yeah, but most people partner with the distribution company. So now it's a lot of them. You got TuneCore, DistroKid. What's the one with Steve Stout?
I'm not even here. I ain't know.
Steve Stout got one. United Masters. So you got all these different distributions, and you pay your yearly fee, and you can upload as much music as you want. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much how most people are doing it. That's one way. But what happens is you can load up music all day, but if nobody checking for it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the good thing for me, and this basic rule of thumb or rule of life, which I think we all will agree with, is relationships. So nobody knew I did music, right? They only knew me from basketball, and they knew me as a human being.
Yeah. And
I think that's what artists forget. The human being factor.
Right.
How are you outside of your talent? Do people enjoy you? Do people like being around you? Do people rock with you?
Yeah.
Do you rock with people? Because now you got all these people talking about they artists, but they introverted. And it's like, how? Like, you know?
Yeah.
So for me, I was very social. I was a basketball guy. Basketball kind of takes you all over the city. And I had relationships, high, low, east, west, north, south. So those relationships, when I rolled out, when I came back from Dubai and made the announcement and dropped my first single and video, Shooting Stars, nobody ever heard me sing. Nobody ever heard my music.
Yeah.
But I didn't go on Instagram. I didn't have my Instagram was weak. I didn't have one.
Yeah.
So all I had was how we grew up. I had a black book. Where I literally can go in and call, hey, I'm having this thing. I need you to pull up, man. Hey, I'm having this thing. So I had experience in sales where you can spend a whole day. If you want to eat, you better go through this call list. So I had no issue calling 100 people saying I need you to show up and da-da-da. And because I had those relationships, regardless of the music, people was like, I rock with you, I'll be there.
Yeah.
And that birthed the Shooting Star single. And the realest thing to this day was it wasn't even about the music. It was people just rock with me. So most times with anybody, whatever product you pushing, do a temperature check on how is your relationships, period, with people. If you have relationships, then you're gonna have a much better opportunity of rolling something out. But if you don't spend any time investing in people and investing in others, and then all of a sudden you got this product, where do you think you're gonna get people from all of a sudden?
That's so good. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I see a lot of these artists, younger artists, older artists, it's all about me. And when I say me, is can you like, share? Can you post this? Can you pull up here, give me $20? Can you this? Can you that? And it's like, what do you do that helps or lifts somebody else? And most times artists are self-centered. It's all about what I got going on. Yeah. And if you don't support, you hate you this, you that, right? And it's like, what have you done?
Right.
Who else have you lifted up along the way?
Yeah.
We just want. One of the oldest sayings, like, man, so where you trying to grow?
Yo, come on now.
So it's that basic rule, man, and that's kind of the method or the spirit behind the collaborative economics project. It's like, I don't want to just get people to rock with my music. I actually want to help the people that I rock with. I want to help their businesses thrive and succeed. So we all need bodies. Yeah. You need them to come and buy this. I need them to come and listen. If I create this table where everybody can eat and we all benefit off bodies walking through the door, then we've just created the conditions for each other to succeed. And that's the collaborative economics project. Man.
And that's genius, bro.
I appreciate it.
No, absolutely. Because I would say any good partnership is a symbiotic one, right? Yep. Where you benefit, we both benefit, or whatnot. And I think that's a beautiful thing. And the fact you already think with the notion of how can I benefit you, we're both benefiting each other and whatnot. Yeah. And I think, like you said, you sit your head around our nose. A lot of times we see it too often. I get a DM every day, brother, and it'd be like, you know what I'm saying? And I have no problem supporting anybody what they're doing or whatnot. Yep. And like I got a proven track record. I will support you whatever you do. But at the same time, it's like I gotta look at your page. Who you support other than you? Yeah. Yep. And to me, it's like, okay. Yeah.
People stingy with them pages.
Oh yeah. Very self-serving.
Oh man, you can be like, hey, now I don't do it because I already know. Like I get flooded too. Like, hey, can you do it? And I be like, I do it, but I'm like, all right, I see that don't work because I'm annoyed by it. So I don't want to be that annoying artist. Yeah. So, damn, I think I lost my train of thought. But I think I was saying, like, people stingy with those pages. Like, you're not getting on my home page. I throw you in my stories, but you're not getting that. And that's how I was just like, you know, with the collaborative economic project, Instagram came out with this collaborator thing. Yeah. And it's like, it's exactly what we're doing. It's like, man, you accept it. I'll type it up and make it.
Yeah.
You accept it, and together, my crowd and your crowd just creates this explosion. It's a no-brainer.
It's a win-win.
And it's crazy because so many artists, would be like you said, the business. I create, man. I ain't got time for that Instagram. It's like, nah, dude, you gotta be.
Yeah.
You gotta wear all the hats. You're independent.
Yeah, you're independent. No,
you ain't signed. Like you gotta take on all the roles that a record company would have. Somebody that does your marketing, somebody that does your PR, somebody that does your press, you are all those hats if you really want to make it.
Facts.
So you won't just be an artist, you're gonna be just in a room recording stuff. And that goes back to your original question. How do you roll out a single? Well, you gotta be prepared to market, you gotta be prepared to do press, you gotta be prepared to be creative.
Yeah.
The algorithm is the biggest cock blocker in the world, man. Like, quite frankly, now it's like you put that flyer up once, try it twice, see how many views and likes you get. They stunt that growth real
quick. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, nah, bro, you posted that. you ain't getting it off twice.
Right.
You're not about to go viral off the same flyer, Jack. And you figure if you're talking about competing, like posting a flyer that's like tying your shoe.
Yeah.
Everybody posting a flyer now. So how do you stand out amongst the crowd? You got to go above and beyond.
Yeah.
If you really want it, you do what it takes. Like I believe God allowed me to pursue basketball because He knew it was going to give me a lot of the tools I needed to do what I'm doing now. Anyway, and I really think, like I said, you couldn't have told me I wasn't going to play professional. I played a little semi-pro, but now that I'm doing this music thing, the success that I wish I had with basketball, I'm getting with this.
Come on now. And that's okay. That's how God works, though.
Ain't it? And that's why it's the biggest thing. He doesn't let us see around the corner. Because if you knew how hard I train and how hard I work, like, I mean, girlfriends, like, good-looking girls, like, I'm like, I gotta work on my game.
Yeah.
I gotta work. Like, I was that guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't get it true. I like women, but nobody came before Spalding.
Yeah, no,
you know what I mean? And
I remember Love Basketball.
Yeah. We taking it to the prom. Spalding. Yeah. That was me, right?
Yeah.
And because I really wanted to make it. And now, if I would have knew, like, God was like, well, you're not gonna make it to the league. I would have went to more parties.
Yeah.
I would have more kisses.
And more focus.
Yeah, I would have been doing more things, and I would have been less focused on the task at hand.
Wow. So
I would have been less prepared for what I'm doing now. Now all I'm really doing is applying all basketball principles.
Yeah.
Well, that 2005 to 2017, I was scouting.
Yeah.
I would go in the clubs and watch, and I saw everybody singing covers. So I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
And then I would watch other stuff. Okay, I see everybody come up like, yeah, my name is Brandon. This is a song I wrote. I hope y'all like it. DJ play that, and the crowd just be like.
And the response they would get, that's crazy.
And it's like I noticed that it ain't a fair exchange. Beyonce, Hove come in town, Cleveland will pay $200. Drake come, Cleveland will pay $300 for a ticket. So it ain't that we don't support or we don't spend money. It's the consumer is tired of an unfair exchange. If I don't know your music, you got my 20 at the door. If I don't know your music, so it's going to be harder for me to buy it.
Yeah.
And if you don't write something really, really dope, I don't want to buy it. But you got my 20. My 20's gone.
Yeah.
And I didn't even enjoy myself. So I noticed it was like, we have to do more as entertainers. So I tried to make each and every one of my shows as close to industry standard as I could with my little 9-to-5 budget. But just doing that, being an entertainer, on top of being an artist, is what helped me grow.
Come on, man. That's good stuff right there. And I want to talk about that because we talked about the off camera and whatnot. Because like I I got entrepreneur year. Everybody like, well, you entrepreneur full time? No, I still working on the 5.
Man, what?
You know, and when I get off work from work, 9 to 5, and then 6 to 10, it's working on the business and whatnot. So how do you manage working and then working in your craft on top of that, man?
Man, sacrifice. So I think you can attest. You got kids yet?
I got 3.
You got 3. So it's tough to say, but somewhere, somebody gets cheated.
That's a fact.
And going after your dream is tough, man, because if you're a good person, you hate to be selfish. Mm-hmm. But when you're so determined, you like, I gotta go get it. So somewhere you leaving some vacancies, some deficiencies, whether it's time with the kids, time with your significant other. Because you fight, like you said, from 9, you wake up, you already know 8 hours is gone.
Gone on top.
You take that right away from your balance of time. 8 hours deducted. Now after that, it's a toss up because you got family, and you got dream, and whatever else, and you like, I gotta fight to give some type of hours to my dream. I know I got this family, and so it was tough, man. And sometimes I've even got emotional, like, damn, man, I hope my son don't wake up one day in the future and be like, man, you ain't rock with me, man. You was da-da-da. You know, cause I saw the story on Quincy Jones.
Yeah.
And his kids was like super dissing, like, man, that dude wasn't around.
Yeah.
That dude, and that sacrifice made him one of the greatest
of all time.
And it's like, it comes at a cost that not everybody's willing to pay.
That's facts.
And you just have to be committed to live with the results. Like, some people may not like me. Some people may walk away from me.
Yeah. Some
people may despise me. But with everything inside of me, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And when I get there, you're going to appreciate it. Because it's not only going to change my life, it's going to change yours too.
Yeah, that's facts.
And that's just a fight. So if you listen to the song, I'm trying, I literally verbalize what we're talking about now. Like it starts with like 6 o'clock in the morning, my alarm's going off, and I gotta lie to myself so that I can get up and go to this job that I really don't want to do. You know, and I'm lying to myself because I see so much greatness in me, but I'm living day to day like I'm the help. And then it's like, I got all these people depending on me. How dare I have the audacity to have a dream? Like knowing these people depend on me. I gotta go to work, because if you don't work, you don't eat.
You eat.
So it's a constant fight for my dream, for my purpose, and it's tough. And that's why most people fall by the wayside. Most people don't make it because some people aren't able to say, I don't want no woman right now. I don't want no man right now. Son, you're going to have to... Yeah. There's going to be some days I ain't here. You're going to have to... Here's the food. Here's the da-da-da. And most people like, that's cruel. And it's like, it is what it is. Yeah. And it's tough, man. But it's great if you can solidify a partner that understands what you're trying to do. And not only do they push you, but they fill in those gaps that you leave open. Yeah. When you're vulnerable, they patch those up and they fill in. And that's probably the best thing that could happen for me. Yeah. Where I lose a little bit of that guilt of going for my dream.
That's good, man.
And that's how Freedom Papers was created. Freedom Papers for me was freeing myself of the 9 to 5 and letting my dreams and my gifts provide for me and my family.
That's good. So let me ask you this. With that being said, what advice do you give to young upcoming artists that is really...
Oh, I love this question.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That, but there's a caveat to it is that they don't know what their next move should be because they're here in the city.
Yeah.
You're not getting no play.
Yeah.
And they're like, I want to give up. What would you say to motivate them?
So first thing I'm gonna say, your dream is nobody else's responsibility. So what I mean by that is a lot of these, let me generalize.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people think because you got a dream that you get to live off somebody else. Knowing you still need food, water, shelter, clothing. You got to pay for the studio. You got to pay for a promotion, right? So, unfortunately, as much as I say I was trying to free myself from the 9 to 5, I needed the 9 to 5.
Yeah.
The 9 to 5 financed the dream.
The dream, facts.
And I see a lot of people quitting their jobs, saying I'm going for my dream, but your day-to-day expenses keep going.
Keep going.
So now you putting that pressure on somebody else, whether it's your mate, your parent, whoever, and at that point, your dream becomes a sour taste in people's mouth. Because now they throwing shots at you like, that dream ain't get you nothing to eat, did it? I did. Like, you know, that dream ain't put that shirt on your back, I did, right? So it's like, you don't want your dream to become somebody else's nuisance. So you have to work in some form or fashion in order to fund the dream. That way, people can support you without being aggravated because you're in their pocket.
Yeah.
That's one. Make sure your dream ain't somebody else's inconvenience.
Yeah.
That's one. Two, you have to, we talked about this off camera, don't let somebody else dictate your destiny. The DJ ain't playing you, so what?
Yeah.
The radio ain't playing you, so what? You have to creatively think of ways to crack the code. The DJ at the end of the day goes by people. The algorithm at the end of the day goes by people. So figure out where your people are.
Yeah.
And figure out how to get into that space.
Yeah. Where
they can hear you. And then when they hear you, it better be good. God forbid you overcome all those obstacles and roll it out and they like,
is this what I waited for?
Yeah, like, come on, man. Like, you know. So one thing I did along the way, because we can all be great in our own minds, but I constantly listened and but I constantly listened and scouted to what was going on around me. And quite frankly, from basketball, you learn this. If you in high school, you watching college, you training like college because that's the next level you're trying to go to. You're in college, you watching pros, training like a pro because that's the level you want to go to. So being local talent, you all aspire to be industry standard. So study the industry. Yeah. Say, okay, this was popping, this was going on. Study where it is you're trying to go. The room that you're trying to be in, you should know that room.
Right. Before you enter it.
Before you even enter it, you know? Because when you get the chance to get in, like I said, God forbid, God moves the sun, moon, and stars for you to get in this room and you don't produce. You don't maximize your moment, man. That's another thing. And then one other thing I want to say is be patient with your journey.
That is good.
Everybody, even if you get visions, a lot of times visions is somewhat of a finish line. You see the celebratory moment. A lot of times we focus on the end of the race and not the actual race. We focus on the finish line and not the race. And because of that, we compromise. We're willing to compromise everything just to get there quicker. And that's why the game is what it is now. It's like, I'm a musical artist, but I'll do some goofy shit on Instagram just to get the possibility of going viral so I can hurry up and get there. And then if I go viral, but I don't have no journey behind it, now I'm not prepared to sustain.
Yeah, that's good.
So I got this moment, I got this opportunity because I struck gold, and now I go right back to square one because I don't have any depth.
That's good.
I don't have any depth to me, man. And the journey is so critical because the journey, I say like we come here with a naked tool belt. We got this tool belt with no tools on it.
Yeah.
And along the journey, you're picking up all these different tools. Like, oh, here goes a hammer. Oh, here goes that. You may not use that hammer right at the moment, but you see it, you got it, boom, boom, boom. Then you get up here and you be like, oh, I needed a hammer, blah, blah, blah. But if you go from here to there, you show up to the finish line with a naked tool belt and you don't have anything to survive. Just like this interview right now is due to the journey.
Yeah.
Mine's, yours. We all got 3 separate journeys, but our journeys brought us here.
That's good.
I met you through a mirror. I first saw you through Tenora, Pink and Black. Shout out to Tenora.
Yeah, shout out to Tenora, man.
And those are experiences, man.
Yeah.
Those are moments packed in. So when we talk now, it's like we have a bond because it's like, man, I saw you win, bro. Like I didn't even know you, but I was rooting for you, man. Like I remember what you had on. Like you walked across the stage, and, and then you like, man, I saw you, and I reached out to you in 2021.
Listen.
And it's like those stories, man. It's like it makes the dap a little crisper.
right.
It makes the conversation like you would think, like, based on how this has been going, like, you would think we've been rocking before. This is the first time we've been in the same.
That's a fact. But greatness recognizes greatness.
Yeah.
I see
it attracts.
Yeah, no,
it
facts.
Facts. Yeah, it attracts, man. Those are the main things I would say, man, to an up and coming person. Man. Don't try and get everything right now, man. Like I said, 2005 to 2017.
Yeah.
Now, if somebody told me, and I'm sure all of us can apply it. If somebody said, I want to do music. Like, all right, it's 2005. We're going to work with you. You come out in 2017. Yeah, man, I'm out of here. I'm going to work on I'm going to do my.
Yeah.
But all that time of preparation prepared me for that moment.
Yeah. But
12 years and I still wasn't prepared for all y'all. I wasn't prepared for here.
Yeah.
I ain't have a name. I ain't have you know what I mean? So it's like, man, our time and God time is 2 different things, man.
That's real. That's absolutely real. I remember when I was a kid, I was like, man, I said I wanted to do media. I didn't know what media was. I didn't know podcast was a thing.
Yeah.
And we're here now. And like I said, I've talked to countless people, and they all say the same thing. And I love hearing that though, because it makes me just. I shout to atheists, you know what I'm saying? Do your thing and whatnot. But I don't know how you can hear certain things and not recognize as a God.
Man, what?
Because it's like I think God's funny.
Hilarious.
Because he'll be like, you know what I'm saying? You'll think one thing, and like you said earlier, he'll take you a whole nother journey, and then and it's a journey along the way.
Yeah.
And it builds character. It builds you as a person, and not only, but for you as an artist, as a person, and just as a great individual, man. So shout out to the journey.
Let me break this journey down to you. So my freshman year out of high school, I went to a school called Ohio University Southern Campus. So it was a branch campus of Ohio University.
Yeah.
Hicktown in Southern Ohio called Ironton. I didn't even go back the next year because they just weren't to the level that I was.
Yeah.
I set out. My man, Coach Fields, plugged me with my second school, Slippery Rock University, PA. There is where I met my 2 coaches. My assistant coach, who only was there for 1 year. After that year, they got fired. That's the guy My assistant coach is a guy that moved to Dubai.
Wow.
Had the wedding, brought me over, and it launched my career.
Wow.
The journey, man. The journey.
That's crazy.
Met him in 2002. He's my assistant coach for 1 year.
Yeah.
We hit it off. He becomes like my big brother. He moves to Dubai, gets married.
Yeah.
I'm in the wedding. It just so happens I get into music for 12 years. And that launches my career as an international artist.
And like you said any scenario, that's crazy. You know?
Yeah. It's like, man, you can't see all that happening.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He didn't. After he stopped coaching, he didn't go right to Dubai.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't go to Dubai until maybe 12 years later. So it's like, but the journey, you know, we built that friendship.
Yeah.
And it ended up launching my destiny.
And like you said, divine timing too, man.
Divine timing.
Yeah, and I'm a firm believer that everything comes according to his plan, and that's the honest truth of it all.
Yeah.
So you talk about the past, talk about the present, talk about the future, bro. Let's talk about what can we expect from you, man.
So the rest of this year, I'm consecutively doing the Finally Free pop-up listening party. So that's the album.
Okay.
So with these collaborative economics, I'll do a pop-up listening party every month with a new business and new vendors. So that's going to continue.
That's dope.
Can't just drop music. You got to be marketing and promoting.
Yeah.
So you got to creatively figure out a way to get your music in people's ears. So that's that. New Year's Eve, we running it back, a toast to the New Year's Eve party. Last year was the first one. It's a blast. It was amazing.
Yeah.
We're going to run it back this year. So get ready to start hearing about that.
That's what's up.
Shout out to my boys. And 2025, I'll start creating album number 2.
Okay.
Album number 2. I don't know what the title is yet, but it'll be some type of tie to freedom. Freedom is my language, man.
But the fact you speaking that into existence too. On top of that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's gonna happen.
Yeah. And everything that I've spoke has happened, man. My first song here in Cleveland was Shooting Star. And that was telling the world, look out for me, here comes a shooting star. That was 2018. Then when I went back to Dubai as an actual artist, 2021, 4 years after my debut over here, I went back as an artist and performed at this biggest show I've done. Outside of this Genuine show I just did, Pop Up in the Park.
Oh, that's what's up.
I created a song called My Time. It's my time. So remember what I said about intentional writing?
Right.
Everything, like when you say it, if you like the song, you literally singing yourself into prosperity. And as musicians, they care about humanity, care about people. Like, why not create that type of music, man? Where somebody quoting your lyrics, they chanting and manifesting greatness.
Versus them get spirits on top of that.
Versus a lot of the stuff that we repeat and saying, and we wonder why the youth is looking crazy out here. We repeating these words and these things. It's like, yeah, man, stuff got power.
Yeah, no, that's real. That's real.
You playing it once every hour, then you got people over here singing it, people over there. It becomes, it manifests itself into society, and that's what we see. So I try to counter that. You got goodness.
Yeah, no, and you gotta appreciate that because, like I said, I have this radio. I don't know how long. I have it.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why, because like I promise, I'm like, God damn, I feel depressed. I'm like, I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, and if you got kids, like, it's like,
oh yeah,
you feel, if you got a conscience, you know what I mean. You want to cut on the radio. I listen to it every now and then, but most time in my car I practice. But you cut it on. I pull up to stores. There'll be little kids in the back. There'll be adult driving and playing the most ratchetest, wildest song, and they listening to it with the kid, like, so it's like no barrier no more. That's why everything is just crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, we live in a crazy time.
Yeah.
But listen, that's why I feel like nowadays, like you said, we can a la carte our music now.
Yeah.
And my dad said this. He said, "See, I should not know the Commodores and the Temptation like I do, but I do because he told me a long time back, the music that you gravitate to, the music you grew up with, the music you listen to forever.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying. So yeah, no, I can respect that.
And that's funny you said that. I said that in the post. You can shop for music a la carte now.
You really can.
And that benefits the consumer, but it just made the artist's job that much harder. And that's why they pushed this narrative like, man, don't make no albums, just drop singles. Try and go viral, try and blow up with a single. So somebody like myself who like, nah, bump that, man. Like, that's what everybody's doing. So how am I going to be unique? How am I going to stand out? I'm going to create a body of work. That way, when I ain't in the room and you talking to somebody, they be like, yo, I'm in town for a minute. Like, who popping? Like, man, you got so-and-so. Let me hear something. Well, I mean, him, you had to go, he just sing at the spot. But for me now, they be like, oh, yo, here goes his album, finally free. Check that out. And now, like Jerry Maguire, help me help you. Help me help you. So that's, I want all my people to be empowered and enabled to help me. They got a tangible product they can pass off because you can't be everywhere. So you need, back to our original statement, you need people. You need people, man. Where the algorithm stunts your growth, people can grow.
That's good.
People, word of mouth is still king.
That's good stuff. Okay, so we at the Pill Experience, we talked about our camera. Cleveland has a very unique stigma of not being collaborative, right?
Yeah.
We talk about camera, but in your opinion, how do you feel like we can change the narrative of Cleveland not being a collaborative place?
Well, I think for one,
you're a massive collaboration, by the way. I want to say, because you was that Mary, you was at Val McCandy.
Yeah.
Once again, we out Mary, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you like, it's dope. It's a dope rollout, by the way.
Yeah.
You are local businesses, so I just want to tell you, thank you for what you're doing for the community. Because once again, bro, because you're a massive collaborator.
So, I think we have to get back to people being pure-hearted individuals, man, and genuinely adopting the basic principle, man. Do unto others as you have them do unto you.
Yeah.
I think we've adapted such a capitalistic mentality that is all about I gotta get mine. I gotta get mine. To the point where, like, so one thing that I do differently with the collaborative economics, whenever you're throwing an event, let's say you got an expense. All right, it's gonna be $1,000 to do this event. What do people do when they invite vendors? Why do they invite vendors? They be like, all right, it's $1,000. If I get 5 vendors, I could charge them $200 a pop. Then I took care of that 1,000, right? So the motivation for reaching out to somebody else's business, somebody else's baby, somebody else's dream is not to see them thrive. It's to cut your expenses. So everything is like a hustle. Nothing is done with passion or purity. And I just was like, man, that's whack, man. Like, nothing's worse than somebody giving me their money. I got their money. I took care of my expenses. I'm having a good time. And the vendor didn't make no bread that night. And it's like, hey, man, it's the price you pay for business. It's like, I was just like, you know what? For these, I'm going to do it different. I'm going to reach out to people that I genuinely care about. I ain't gonna do no ad on Instagram because that brings in, one thing I don't like, if you find out with me, I don't like wild cards. Because people and their personalities I'm like big on crowd control. I don't want nobody, you can be talented as ever, but personality can ruin everything. So I reach out to people that I know, like, trust, and people that get it. So doing this project, man, collaborative economics project, it's a listening party. I like you to come. All right, cool. They program. What's the vendor fee? Ain't no vendor fee. Just come make money. I don't want a percentage. I don't want nothing. Come make money. Come do well. Come let people experience your product. And people like, all right.
They think it's a catch to it. Like, it's a catch to it.
Yeah. No, it's like South Central when he's passing out toys. Like, thanks, Ray. But it's like, no, like, we need to normalize just being good human beings again, man.
That's
like,
good.
Man, we say all this black business, and I'm for black business, but with this collaborative economic project, let me make the record straight. It's for anybody, any and everybody that I trust.
Okay.
That I can say they get it. They're not gonna be goofy. Like, well, I ain't promoting, but I'm showing up. Like, how? It don't work if you don't work, baby. Like, now you're not paying a vendor fee. Yeah. You're not gonna promote either. Like, so it gotta be people that get it. You know? So, like Amira's my next one, man. Amira goes hard in the paint. Shout out to Amira. Amira goes so hard in the paint, and it's like that's what it takes. And I had to learn that. One of my OGs, Henry, taught me, man, with this freedom paper thing. He like, you need to narrow it. I was like, why? He's like, everybody can't be free, man, because everybody ain't willing to do what it takes. Like my dude Jamil too, at the beginning of my album, he said, "Freedom ain't free," and that's it. Like, you have to put in work, and everybody don't want to do that. How you gonna just show up? You already, the fee is waived. Yeah. I'm doing a promotion. Whoever else is promoting, all you coming and getting just bread. You just no expense. You just come in to make money, and you can't post it. You can't promote. You only gonna throw it in your story. You know, it's like how selfish are you? And that's what I don't communicate with or operate with, is selfishness. And that's like, you in the entrepreneurial circle, and it's everybody. It's trending now. Right. Everyone is. But the more you're around, the more you realize, like, I can't partner with all entrepreneurs because everybody don't have the makeup of what it takes to actually succeed. It's hard enough succeeding in a one-seater vehicle. When you talking about getting a van and putting 5 other passengers in it, and everybody got an ego, everybody got ideas, opinions. Like, it becomes hard. So the only way you can move productively and effectively and efficiently is if you got like-minded people. And that's the sad truth of it. You can't help everybody.
No, and that's right. And you know what? And shout out to Cleveland, because like I'm seeing more of the other way, which is we want to collaborate. Like you said, everyone know what time it is. Yeah, I understand that in order for us to move forward as a city, we have to come together. Yeah, and I think that the ways of gatekeeping and saying, "Well, I'll mess that person over there," I feel like they're fading away. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because lanes are being created outside of the established lanes that they think they govern.
Come on,
I mean? and they actually becoming more productive than the lanes that they gatekeep.
Absolutely, bro.
That's my story. Like, I didn't go through the rites of path. I wasn't going to open mic and all that. Because I had those relationships, I could get 200 people in the room, and all 200 I called.
Come on, now. And shout out to Amira, because Amira was texting me last night. I got an idea. I'm like, yes, ma'am, let's do it. Yeah. And she, you ain't never lied, bro. She is like, let's do this, let's do that. I'm like, yes, ma'am, let's do it.
But you know what? Amira's from the East Coast.
Hey,
it's that hunger out there is different.
Yeah, it's different. No, I'll give you that.
It's a different kind of hunger. Like,
she bringing it to the city or whatnot, and it shows and whatnot. So shout out to her, man. Yep. So with that being said, if you, and my mom kind of gave with it, I believe everybody watch our podcast, right? With that being said, who would you like to collaborate in the future? What entity, what person, or what corporation would you like to collaborate in the future with?
We said a couple people. Shout out to Nora. Nora, hey, Nora, look me in the eye. Yeah. Let's do this.
Yeah, Pink and Black out 2025. Get Dave up there.
Nora, let's do this. Who else in the city, man? My good brother, I just collaborated with him for the pop up in the park. My boy Jock.
Come on.
That's my guy, Jock Flow Vodka. If you know him or if you experienced any of his creations, he's a creative genius, man. Absolutely. And I would love to put our two minds together and do something great. If you're watching this, you see this, man. Hey,
yes, sir.
It's my guy, man, since high school, man. So that would be a dream of mine. And I got a group called A Crew. Artists creatively recognizing everyone's work. And I mean, the crew, we need to do something. You know, we need to put something back out there for the people, man. So that would definitely be another collaboration. And who else is real sick in the city, man? You, man. You.
Oh, brother.
This is just the beginning. Man.
Oh, no. Yeah, say less, brother. Yeah, say less.
Hey, slide it out, man. Let's do something else.
Listen. Listen. You think I'm mirror bad? I'm worse than the mirrors. You know what I mean? All right. So we'll talk about that off camera. But no, that's dope. And like, this is not a two-part question, but remember LSG or not LSG? Remember what Gillivert,
Keith Sweat.
Yeah, remember they came together? Yeah.
That was LSG.
Oh yeah, right. Okay. Levert, yeah.
Sweat and
Gil, right. And then with Tyrese, Tank
and Genuine
and whatnot. Would you ever consider doing something like that, joint?
After I'm established individually. Groups are tough, man. I've been successful at burying my ego, which has allowed me to collaborate so freely the way I have. Not everybody's able to do that.
Yeah.
I've been in some rooms where the ego is roaring, and it gets in the way every time, man. And groups, I see why groups don't make it.
Why they don't make it? Yeah, that's facts.
I mean, hell, TGT broke up because of ego.
Yeah.
They said it. They trying to get back together now. Like, you gonna act right, man? There's always one at least, man. Maybe two sometimes, but there's at least always one that just. So and part of that is they came in as individually established artists. So, you know, depending on who's thriving individually the most, sometimes that person's ego will be the craziest. And then when you all come in at the same level, say you don't have individual success, society tries to make one person a star. Like, well, y'all just support. Like, people really want you. And then, you know, so now it's like
they roughing the fact.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, so groups are just tough, period, man. But I just want to, you know, continue to be partnered with people that have control over their ego, man. That's the key. That's the secret weapon.
Yeah, no, absolutely. All right, well, let me ask you this. Legacy. And I asked a question because it's one of my favorite questions to ask because I was watching this Nipsey Hussle interview. And this is when he first started. This was before that had the beard, right? Okay. And he's talking about all the things he wanted to accomplish. And he not only accomplished it, he exceeded them joint, right? What would you love your legacy to be for you and then for your musical legacy also?
I definitely want to pierce the fraternity of the industry. To a degree, I've already surpassed the local talent category.
Yeah.
But numbers wise, people would be like, well, you know, you ain't got 70,000 followers, or you know what I mean. So I want to pierce and penetrate the industry. I'm glad you didn't say pause, man. I just knew somebody was like, pause.
On the Mexican Cam had that.
Yeah. I always like, man, I don't even have to say that, man. It's no question. But I want to represent.
Yeah.
Not only for myself, my family, but the city.
Yeah.
And for all the dreamers worldwide, man. I think aside from making music, the biggest thing for me is getting to the podium, What I mean by the podium is when you get to that point where popularity, whatever, success, but you have an opportunity to influence the culture.
Yeah.
The moment you do the mic and say, hey. And right now, I just feel like the people that's getting the mic saying, hey, is saying some goofy stuff. We need some reputable people, some reputable leaders.
Yeah.
I won't even say leaders because they target leaders, but just some representation, man.
Yeah.
Of polish and cool and intellect. Let's bring intellect back. You know what I mean? Like me and you talked about how we love interviews. Some of these interviews, man, like these cats think it's cool to sound stupid, man. You know what I mean? It's bad, and unfortunately, we know with our culture, we've always had a influential relationship with the media.
Yeah.
So whoever they put on TV, we tend to draw to. So that's my way of leaving my fingerprint on this world. I want to get to the podium. I want to infuse the world with change, man. I want to get people back to passionately pursuing their purpose versus by any means necessary chasing the bag. I hate the chasing the bag era because there's no rules, there's no morals. People do anything to get the bag.
Yeah.
And if everybody's in their purpose, I can speak from experience. I'm so fulfilled. I'm so content and happy.
Yeah.
And I enjoy waking up, seeing what it brings. Like this, a week ago, I didn't know this was gonna happen. I just met Amira at the Power Brand.
Bro, that's y'all been to each other. That's crazy.
I met Amira for the first. So I'm walking around.
Yeah.
Like, so me and her DMing like, where's Amira? And they like, Amira, just look for the girl in the blue dress. So, but Mary connected us. She's like, you need to meet Davie. He's doing this collaborative economics project, and I think y'all two would be.
Yeah.
So I met her at Power Brand. Power Brand was about 2-3 weeks ago. I didn't know this was about to happen.
Yeah.
But because of that, this happened. So it's like
it's all that's come on now.
So that's I want to get people back to their dreams.
Yeah.
Their purpose, their destiny. And we do that, we eliminate jealousy, we eliminate envy, because everybody's content, because everybody's doing what they were sent here to do.
Yeah.
I think that will solve a lot of our issues.
That's good, bro.
You fulfilled, you content. I ain't tripping on you.
Yeah.
Get yours, man. I'm getting mine.
Right.
And guess what? If I'm getting mine, you getting yours. Now we can collab now. But if I'm getting mine, you ain't doing nothing. You just plotting on who you gonna get. You preventing us from a takeoff.
That's real.
But because you in position, I'm in position, we can
take off together.
We can create. That's our God. That's what I keep saying, people. Like, that's our God-given power. We have the ability to say, let there be light, just like he did. We can create things that don't exist and make it so. The pull-up experience did not exist.
That's real.
It's like there was darkness. You said, let there be light. You said, let there be the pull-up experience. And here we are.
Here we are.
It's a real thing.
No, listen. God is good, bro.
Yeah.
God is God. I say every time I get a chance.
Yeah, man.
So with that being, Dave, man, you've been dropping gems left and right, bro. I personally feel like there should be takeaways from every great interview. What are 3 takeaways you would love someone to get from the interview tonight? I must say you've been dropping them, bro. I can think about 3 off the top of my head. I'm like, that's good right there.
Embrace the race. Don't focus on the finish line. Embrace the race. That's 1. 2, your freedom lies in your dreams, your gifts, and your goals. In that order. Your dreams, your gifts, your goals. are the key to your freedom.
That's good.
And the key to successful collaboration is the absence of ego.
I'm gonna put it on a t-shirt. We'll work on that later. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah. We're creating.
That's good right there.
It don't exist right now.
No, it don't exist, but it is gonna exist though.
Yeah.
But that's good stuff right there, bro. Because you're right. I feel like when it comes to business, you have to let your ego go. It has to,
man. Got to. You gotta check that in like you check your coat.
Yeah.
As soon as you come to the biggest stat, check that coat, check that ego. Let's go. Let's see what we can all do from scratch.
That's facts. So part two. We're gonna do part two. We don't have to see you on action. We're gonna see. So next I want to talk to Amir. We're gonna find out when your launch is at Mirrors. We're gonna be there. We're gonna do a part two. We're gonna see you on action, bro.
Yeah.
22nd. We are there.
27.
27. Okay.
That's what I was gonna ask you. The pull up experience. Do y'all actually pull up?
Bro, that's where the name came from.
Okay, all right. Cause I've done that before. I had a podcast in the middle of the show, and then we just went right there. Like, so I'm always trying to incorporate everybody's gifts and dreams.
Yes, sir. So we're gonna do part two. We're gonna see you in action and whatnot, bro.
There it is.
But I appreciate you, man. And listen, I love a good interview, and this has been phenomenal, bro. And I can't thank you enough for coming through, man. Blessings with your presence, bro.
Yeah, man. Let's speak it now. Like, this is gonna be one. They may not appreciate it now, or they may, but eventually they're gonna turn back to this, and this is gonna be one of those interviews people share amongst each other. Like, man, this was like you told me. Because of you, I'm gonna go watch the Marlon Wayans interview. So let's manifest that same type of word of mouth will get us.
Bro, I listen, and that's another thing. That's what I love about media nowadays, because I can look back at, like we were talking about Biggie, Tupac, all the interviews that they didn't know what they were saying. And they know what they were saying, but they didn't know that interview was going to be so pivotal in their legacy and whatnot. Yeah. And like I believe that the Pull experience is going to be just that for all the Cleveland artists, all the Cleveland entrepreneurs, all the Cleveland influencers. You know, like, man, what the interview for the Pull experience and whatnot. And bro.
Let's speak that.
Yes, sir.
I'm in agreement with him. Look me in my eye. I agree with this man. The pull-up experience is going to be all that and some. It's going to exceed his expectations. My expectations going to be exactly what he said it is. The number one podcast in Cleveland.
No, I receive that, bro. So that being said, where can people learn more about your music? Where can they get a copy of it? All that good stuff, so they can get all that from you.
So the music is on every streaming platform there is. So everything except for Apple is under Mr. Freedom Papers. Okay. Apple is the only one dragging their feet.
Apple, come on, Apple, stop playing.
So musically, my name is Davie, but it's D-A-V-E with the Macron over the E. That's the line that makes the vowel. Okay. Long, right. See, I was about to pull the English one time. Yeah, that's from the old day. Like, you got I and A. Okay. Like play versus what. Okay. Right? The short A versus long A. So the E is long, but Apple won't let me have the line over the E. So it just made it Dave. So as you can imagine, when you look up Dave, it's a million of them. And I'm like 1,000,001. So before you get to me, you're going to be exhausted. So I changed it to Mr. Freedom Papers. That's why. Apple is still dragging their feet. Okay. On Instagram, the album, the link is in my bio. Okay. That's the easiest way. My Instagram is Davie, DAVIE _ FP for Freedom Papers. And on Facebook, it's Davie Johnson. TikTok, Davie _ FP. All of that. Yeah. So for all my lazy people, listen, you watch the episode or right below where you're watching the episode, it's going to be right there in the show notes. So there's no excuse why you're not listening to the album, okay? When you do that, that means it's going to pop up. It's going to be right there. I like that. So yeah, we appreciate you, bro. I appreciate it, man. Absolutely. It was a pleasure, man. Yes, sir. We have his bills, y'all. So listen, guys. Unfortunately, we're not able to do Entrepreneur Game this year for Sweetest Day, but we are running back for Valentine's Day. So don't worry. All my single entrepreneurs, hit the DM and say, hey, I want to be on the Entrepreneur Game. We don't find you love, okay? One thing we know here at the Pull experience between entrepreneurs, like Dave said earlier, it's hard to find that person that can compliment you during your entrepreneurship journey or whatnot. So we're trying to find that for you.
It's a good time. This will be year 4, y'all. Is year 4? Year 4. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Also, guys, we had a great time at the Kids 2U Wines Wine Festival this year. Not only was it a great collaboration of great people who have great wines, but it was great businesses. And just know that this is the second year she's going to have this every year. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. The greatest wine in the city, in the world to me. So I'm sorry, y'all. That's my opinion, but it's true. Next up, guys. Listen, we have an amazing team here at the Global Experience. We got Steve behind the camera doing this thing per usual. We got Bree who can edit your videos. We have Michelle who can help you with your services as far as your admin, your scheduling, all that good stuff. Because we wouldn't be the Global Experience without her. Also, we have Nakia, we have Brittany with Beauty Be Told, and then this amazing group. And I want you to do me a favor. Check out those amazing people and patronize their businesses today, okay? Because if they're doing great work for us, they can do great work for you. Lastly, guys, the Global Experience, we have said to ourselves, what's the evolution of doing the podcast? We are now teaching. Not only teaching, we're coaching, and we're also producing a podcast for you. So be on the lookout for that, because we're dropping the ebook, we're dropping the classes, you're going to see us just out here more, just showing you how to create that podcast. Because back in the day with the website, then with social media, now I feel like the future of your business or your product, have a podcast. Because how can people know more about you? Or how can you be an authority in your field? Create that podcast. So we'll be able to show you from A to Z how we've done it. Shoot, Davie is 256 or whatnot, so we must be doing something right.
256.
256, brother. And as of right now, 7.8 million views, 16.7 thousand subscribers. So, I cannot say that this is just a single thing. This is a team effort, and we have the great team effort. Okay, so make sure you guys check out for that soon. And last, I want to thank you, the person watching, and you, the person listening, because we wouldn't be who we are if it wasn't for you or whatnot. So we can't thank you guys for liking, sharing, subscribing, and sharing great stories like Davie's, and just being a fantastic subscriber. So thank you guys. And guys, this is episode 256. Broke 300. They'll be here for you know. So we'll see y'all next time, all right? Peace.